All right, hello and welcome to Your Story, Your Impact, where we shine a light on the top players in the construction industry. Today, we are with Mr. Costa Panagolias, one of the co-founders of Jobtable, a software platform built by contractors for contractors. And after scaling their own plumbing company, two guys who was friends in a truck to over 30 employees, they couldn't find a system that was simple, affordable, and actually worked. And so they built one. And that solution became Jobtable, which is now helping service businesses across North America streamline their operations and grow. So, Costa, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I guess for those that don't know, maybe kick us off with a little bit of your origin story, how you got started, and kind of how this all came together.
Yeah, I'll give you the quick background here. Again, thanks for the intro. My name is Kosta Panagoulias, one of the co-founders of Jobtable. I come from a software background, founded my first software company back in 2011. We're in the real
Mm-hmm.
estate technology space, so grew that company over the next decade.
Mm-hmm.
That company got acquired back in 2022. And then fast forward to today. Shortly after I exited my company, I was helping two of my best friends, Johnny and Charlie, who are now my partners with Jobtable. They
Mm-hmm.
currently own and operate a plumbing company. So they
Mm-hmm.
started off over 16 years ago, two guys in a truck doing service calls. Today they
Mm-hmm.
employ over 30. They do a lot of commercial, industrial, bigger projects. So they've scaled from, nothing to where they are today. And so as they were growing, they were building like a lot of construction companies out there, they're just doing things very old school, pen and paper,
Mm-hmm.
didn't have good
Mm-hmm.
systems, didn't have good processes, weren't using
Yeah.
like any software. So I
Mm-hmm.
came in just to help them streamline a few aspects of their business. So we were going through a lot of other softwares that the intention was just to find a software that they can use to plug into their business.
Mm-hmm.
And as we are going through this process, we just found everything was very hard to use, expensive, bloated, didn't really fit
Mm-hmm.
well within their processes and their systems. So we decided just to
Mm-hmm.
build something for them internally, just to streamline
Mm-hmm.
a few parts of their business. And so that was just very impactful for them right away. We decided to then package it into what is now Jobtable and put a very simple and affordable solution in the hands of contractors everywhere. So that's why we say like this is truly a software built by contractors for contractors in every sense of the word. I know a lot of
Mm-hmm.
companies do say that, but this is very literal in every sense. Like they still operate and own their company today. And I think a lot of our clients see that once they actually
Mm-hmm.
see the software, like the nuances and there's certain processes and nuances in construction where if you're not in it, it's easy to overlook.
Mm-hmm. For sure, yeah. It seems like kind of have a good partnership there because it sounds like you come more for the software side and your co-founders come for the contracting side. And it seems like, some contractors are maybe less tech savvy, so having that kind of partnership can really build something great for sure.
We always say like that is truly our secret sauce, right? Like, and
Hmm.
I always come back to this. Could I have built Jobtable on my own? Absolutely. Would it have been nearly as good? Absolutely not. Right. So
Hmm.
just having that when you're building something, for yourself, essentially, it's a total game changer.
For sure. Yeah, okay. So then maybe rewind a bit. Either you or your co-founders, what were maybe the biggest day-to-day headaches they were seeing in the plumbing business.
Well, they were very old school, right? We always joke
Mm,
around like this is a dinosaur of an industry, and they were those
yeah.
dinosaurs, right? Like
Hmm.
everything, every administrative process in their business, they literally had to do from their office. And I mean that very literally. They had a big whiteboard in their office
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
see what projects are on the go, right? If they
Hmm.
had to send an invoice or an estimate. Like they had to like go back to the office on the computer, pull up a Word document. It's just very, very old school and tedious and just extremely inefficient. So,
Hmm.
we just try to just trying to tackle a few of their, streamline a few of their simple processes, such as the job management, just being able to simply manage a job from anywhere. Like, why do you have to be in your office to see what you have going on? You
Yeah,
know? So it just kind of escalated from that initial point, of like when you send a quote, that quote turns into a job. You then manage that job. You can then process it, schedule it. So we just took it one step at a time.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, and I speak to a lot of contractors. I speak to a lot of contractors, and a lot of it is, yeah, like kind of like you said, pen and paper, whiteboard, um, and then yeah, it seems like some of them are almost kind of maybe kind of delinquent to kind of give over that some of that control to software, maybe resistant to it.
Absolutely.
Do you see that at all, or what's your experience been with that?
Definitely. Yeah. We still see that today. I can't tell you how many people I still speak to who still use carbon copy invoices, right?
Hmm.
Who are just like very reluctant to just change their process, even if you show them something that for example, right? Sometimes we'll do demos with a contractor who they absolutely love it. They acknowledge even that like,
Hmm.
wow, this will save me so much time. This is great.
Hmm.
But are still like reluctant to take the next step. Like it's like pulling teeth. And
Hmm.
it's the fear of change, I guess. I guess that's
Hmm.
natural in any human being, really.
Yeah, yeah,
But for some reason, I do find people in construction are a little bit more hesitant to change and specifically use technology compared to other industries. And I
yeah.
don't know why that is. It's something we talk about internally all the time and kind of like joke around a lot. But yeah, we do. I definitely do still find that a lot in construction. With that being said, though, I do see a bit of the tides turning, where a
Hmm.
lot of the old heads are kind of moving out, and you're seeing a lot of newer or um, younger folks taking over companies and starting companies, and obviously, those people are a lot more open, and they realize the necessity of software and technology to
Hmm.
streamline their operations. So it is changing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then especially now with kind of the whole rise of AI and all that, it does seem like it's kind of just in one way or another, it's almost like inevitable. Well, we have to adopt, at some point, some type of software or technology into the business to kind of keep it
Absolutely,
going
yeah.
smoothly and scaling and all that.
100%. It's something we try and educate a lot as well. We actually have our own podcast, the Deconstruction Podcast, and actually,
Mm,
you brought up AI, but like our last episode was 10 insanely powerful ways construction contractors can use AI in
mm,
their business. So we literally like
nice.
spent an hour like on ChatGPT, like in real time, doing a lot of things. That was a really, really good episode that we actually learned a lot of stuff kind of on the fly. So um, yeah, that's a whole, it's probably a whole nother
Yeah,
topic on its own in
for
terms of
sure.
AI,
For
but
sure.
that's definitely shaking things up a lot.
Yeah, that's definitely feel like it's kind of here to stay. So we got to adapt
Oh
to it
yeah.
somehow, somehow, for
Absolutely,
sure.
yeah, yeah. It's not going anywhere. A lot of people there's you hear a lot of the doom and gloom with AI
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
things like that. But like you said, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. So you might as well kind of try to learn it and use it to your advantage. And there's a lot of ways
Hmm.
you can do that.
For sure. For sure. Okay, and then maybe when you were kind of building the software, why do you think, or what do you think about the current existing tools or softwares that were out there, um, that maybe weren't cutting it or weren't as kind of tailored to contractors?
I think one a good question from what I hear, excuse me. Speaking to a lot of contractors every single day,
Mm,
you get a sense of what the market is saying and kind of what they're demanding. And I
mm,
think coming back to why a lot of people in construction are reluctant to use software is because there's almost like a notion when someone when someone in construction hears the word software, you automatically think expensive, like I need training, like it's
Hmm.
hard to implement, it's going to take
Hmm.
long, get my team involved. And that's actually true for a lot of the cases. Like a lot of the big names that you heard, that you hear about do require like training. You need training, you
Hmm.
need onboarding, you need to set
Yeah.
aside like multiple days to get set up. And so that is a huge difference with Jobtable. Like we actually don't have any training. Like you can literally sign up and start using Jobtable today. Like that's truly how simple it is.
Mm.
I say Jobtable is the simplest construction software on the planet. And I actually mean that very literally. So I
Mm.
think yeah that coming back to your question that's what I hear from a lot of people. It's like they're reluctant because things are just hard to use. It's overwhelming. These are generally a lot of the times not the most tech savvy of people as well.
Hmm.
So there is that notion like that just that word software. It's almost like a trigger with all those preconceived thoughts related to software.
Yeah, for sure. And that's interesting how you kind of reframed that training thing because I would imagine a lot of companies would look at training as like a positive, a pro, but you kind of flipped it like, well, we don't have any, and that's good because makes it simple, right? So,
Yeah, it's one of our like our branding slogans is like, hey, imagine a construction software that doesn't require any training, right? That's what Jobtable is.
mhm. Yeah, no, I think that simplicity is definitely kind of underrated, especially in these AI times. So, if you can find a way to incorporate that in, absolutely beneficial for sure. All right, cool. And then I guess I mean, you've already mentioned a couple, but if you had to name maybe the top two or three problems, contractors struggle with the most, what might they be?
Two or three problems that contractors struggle with the most.
Mm.
Top of my head, the first one is broadly speaking, just a lack of good processes in place. And I'll just give you like a
Mm.
very simple example, right? Just a few months ago, I had a few arborists come to my house. I was just getting a couple of quotes to do some pruning around the house.
Mm. Mm.
So three companies come in. The first one was amazing. Like we hit it off with the owner of this company, went around the house. I was like, for sure, I'm just gonna use this company, like very knowledgeable. So after we do the walk around, he's like, you know what, give me 10, 20 minutes. I'm just gonna prepare a quote and I'll come back. So he comes back 20 minutes later, hands me a handwritten quote with like I probably couldn't read about 80% of it. And
Mm.
so that just like and so I actually didn't go with this person because now like I'm busy. I don't have the time now to like call him back. Like, hey, what does this say? Like what's this
Mm.
number here? Like I can't
Mm.
read it. So I ended up going with the company who sent me a quote digitally.
Mm.
Whereas it was just easy to review, approve with a couple clicks. And so I'm thinking, I can't imagine how many jobs that very skilled and knowledgeable contractor is losing out on because of his lack of just a simple process of creating a
Mm.
quote digitally
Mm.
as opposed to handwritten, right?
Mm.
So that I see that all the time. A second one is the backlog of invoices that a lot of contractors have, right? They do a job, they again back to like having no processes in place where you send an invoice, you forgot that you sent it out because you're not sending it out through like a structured software or a system. You forget about that invoice, and guess what
Mm.
happens? Your cash flow sinks. Now you're scrambling for cash. Whereas if you use a software to send invoices, it's impossible for things to slip through the cracks. So your cash flow improves, you get
Mm.
paid faster. But it all stems back from just not having systems in place. And systems is again, it's broad, but it just use a software. It'll really help tremendously in every aspect of your business. And those are just
Mm.
two simple examples of just quotations and invoicing.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, and I imagine. especially in this industry, a lot of people, a lot of contractors they kind of want to like have control over everything. And so to be able to just kind of relax and relinquish that control either to, other employees or other softwares, can is definitely kind of a sticking point that I see. And then, yeah, just kind of like you mentioned with the handwritten quote, um, yeah, it's almost like we have, I think a lot of people are guilty of this, but this mindset of like, I'm really skilled at what I do. I don't need to bother with this, this other stuff.
Yeah.
And so it
100%.
kind of,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I see that. Yeah, there's so many skilled, amazingly skilled tradesmen, contractors out there who are just incredible at what they do, but
Mhm.
just suck at the business side of things. And it's one of these things where having the skill will only take you so far to really grow a business in any meaningful way. Like you have to understand that there's a whole nother side of the business, which is the business side, the administrative side, the processes, and so it's the contractors, the companies who understand both of those. Those are the ones that are excelling and growing.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Because there's definitely two different skill sets, contracting and running a business and be able to kind of, yeah, rely on some other people to coach you through that. Definitely helps for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So I guess in kind of growing the company from, the two guys in the truck to 30 people, maybe what were the kind of the messiest operational challenges during that growth?
Well, when I came in, they were already they've grown. So they were, I
Mm,
think, a very rare case of a company that was able to grow without real good systems in place. And
hmm
I think that just credit to like their grind, commitment, dedication, which is incredible.
hmm
But since implementing now a software and like having amazing processes, they're just able to do a lot more. Like their time is just way more efficient. They're more
hmm
productive.
hmm
It's funny, we were recording a podcast yesterday, and at the end of the podcast, Charlie, he actually sent out two invoices during the recording, right?
mm,
And that's just again something that was impossible to do before having using a software like a job table.
for sure. Yeah, and just having that simplicity on hand, do it from anywhere, don't have to be in your office for sure. And yeah, I guess speaking on that, um, what would you say maybe your most successful job table customers or users do differently from the rest?
Uh, Good question. I mean, I think these are the people that are the companies that are more successful in that regard are just the ones that are embracing technology and like are willing to learn,
Hmm.
use new features, use or try new tools. Because that is, I think, just true with any business, especially today with AI, like you said, and
Hmm.
and just a lot of softwares are getting really de democratized in a way where it's like it's really there's so many new tools and features and softwares coming out literally every single day. So
Hmm.
if you're not continuously learning and just like tapped into what's new, it's very easy to fall behind. And that's not only true for construction, I think that's true across the board in literally any business right now. So it's more
Hmm.
important now than ever to just be open, have an open mind, because there's a lot of just incredible tools that are coming out daily right now. So yeah,
Yeah.
but to kind of just summarize it, it's the people that are open to learning, I think are getting the most success right now.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, especially with AI. I mean, these days it feels like every minute a new thing is coming out.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, it's
absolutely.
like a double-edged sword. Like you want to stay plugged in and know what's happening, but it can definitely become like a rabbit hole where just get too distracted.
That's true.
So,
Yeah, it's got to be a
so you gotta
balance.
kind of separate
Yeah.
it for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and then yeah, I guess a couple last ones for you. See, maybe if you could give maybe one piece of advice to maybe contractors from anywhere between 500K and 2 million, kind of feeling stuck, wanting to get to that next level. What might that be?
Good question. I'd say success leaves clues, right? Especially
Hmm.
nowadays, the amount of information that people are just leaving out there through podcasts and platforms like this, people who have done what you are doing or who were stuck in that same position you are currently in. Uh, a lot of those insights and experiences are out there, right? There's no better way to learn than, learning from someone who has done it or has been, or who has experienced what you're currently experiencing.
Hmm.
So, and one thing I realized too, a lot of successful people with experiences, with insights, they're very open to sharing those insights if you ask, right? I kind of
Hmm.
have a motto, if you don't ask, you don't get. And
Hmm.
I think you'd be very surprised at how open and willing a lot of people, a lot of successful entrepreneurs and business owners are to just sharing insights. So I would say learn. Like the construction, it's not there's nothing revolutionary in construction. There's like thousands, tens of thousands of companies in that 500 to 2 million and plus range,
Hmm.
right? So if other companies were able to cross that hurdle, there's really no reason why you can't, right? It's just a matter
Yeah,
of digging in and doing it.
yeah, for sure. I mean, within any industry or niche, there's companies that are widely successful and other companies not so much. So yeah, being able to kind of stay on top of things, get the coaching you need, get the help you need, get the software you need. Um, Definitely kind of they all have to come together like a recipe for sure. All right, cool. And then the last one I like to ask people as well. If you could, hypothetically wave a magic wand and instantly fix one thing about the construction or contracting industry, what might that be?
If I can wave a magic wand and change something, I think we touched on a lot of them. But the first one
Mm-hmm.
that comes to mind is just being open to change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like, if you're stuck in your same processes and procedures, there are a lot of ways to just be more productive and efficient with your time. But you have to be open and willing to learn these things. So if I can wave a magic, if I can wave a flag and change something, it's for just contractors to be more open and willing to try new things
Mm-hmm.
and step away from this isolated bubble that they're kind of locked into. And I think that will just open up so many doors and avenues for people.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of like what we touched on earlier, just being able to just have that kind of relinquish a little bit of that control or kind of wanting to micromanage everything and kind of just release some of that to other people or other, services or platforms can do you wonders for sure.
Yeah, one of the most rewarding things, in my days is when I get the calls from someone who recently signed up to Jobtable, and I speak to them again. It's like, man, thank you so much. I'm literally saving 5, 10 hours a week, and
Hmm.
like that's so powerful. Imagine getting back 5 to 10 hours a week, like what you can now do with that time to now,
Hmm.
work on the business, sales, marketing, like, so that's the power of efficiency and saving time is because now you can utilize that time for more growth, right? So
For sure. Yeah. I'm, not just the scaling side of the revenue or the profit side, but also getting some of your time back for sure to actually scale even more. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Costa, this has been great. Appreciate you taking the time and sharing so much experience and wisdom with us. For anyone who wants to maybe learn more about you, job table, or kind of just follow along with the work you're doing, what's the best place for them to find you?
Yeah, jobtable.com. That's our
Mhm.
website. You sign up for a 14-day free trial, no credit card required. You have full access for 14 days. We're most active on Instagram and YouTube with handles Jobtable. So pretty easy to find us. So those are the best places.
Awesome. Yeah, we will make sure to link that up in the description as well. And yeah, thanks again for being here. Really enjoying the conversation. And yeah, definitely hope to maybe collaborate more down the road sometime.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Andrew. Thanks again.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning into Your Story, Your Impact. We will see you next time.